Good morning, Breakfast Club family. This is Mark Stevens for your host, Joe Shoup. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. We are at December the 6th, 2015. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Looking to have a great day today. And we're just going to kind of give you an update. Joe won't be with us today because I just sent him to bed. We are just about there. As a matter of fact, Joe's been working on, we have to devise new letters to go with the new presentation so that you have autoresponder letters and letters that you can send out. And we've been working on that. And what has to happen is we have to also embed those letters with some videos, just like you see in the 12-week financial freedom plan and the as well as the friends and family. So we're working on that. We have pretty much everything done. In the Philippines, I think they're back to work now, and all we have to do is upload it on the server. Everything is there. The manual is there. And we're there. So I would say this, by the end of the week, if not before, maybe the next couple of days, we got to do a couple of more testing of things, and then we can release it. And we'll let you know when, and let you know when you can go in and do what you may need to do to put things in perspective for yourself. But that being said, let me say this, that I don't know, I want to say this, because I don't know how many of you understand what goes into putting all of this together. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of coming up with ideas. It's a lot of time consuming because, again, as you hear us often say, terminology and perception, it has to make sense. So in the letters that we put together, in everything that we put together, the terminology and the perception has to make sense. And you don't just throw it together. It has to be thought out because you have to say the right things to the right people at the right time to get the right response. And so I want to stress upon you that we are as anxious as you are, but also understand that this takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, effort to come up with these things. And, you know, when we think about the time that we put in and the effort, you know, it's amazing what it takes to do that. So what we need to do is understand what it takes. And then once you understand that, then the other thing that you have to understand and need to understand is that we need you to take ownership, we need you to engage, and we need you to go to work and make use of the efforts that have been put forth. Because there's been many a sacrifice made. Now, I will say this, and I want to say this publicly, and Joe doesn't know that I'm saying this because he's asleep, or he better be asleep, let me put it that way. But Joe puts more time and effort into it than I do. I mean, if you knew the time and effort that he puts into this, it's amazing. I mean, he sometimes he's hard-headed. In other words, I say, look, go to bed. And okay, Mark, I'm going to go to bed. The next thing I know, I get an email at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, which is like 5, 6 o'clock my time. And that tells me that he's not in bed, or he hasn't been to bed because of the time that the email was sent out. And we all know that if you don't get your proper sleep, it affects your health. So all of that plays into this. And I think about all of that because it's important. So I'm saying that to say this, that we're close, and get ready. We're there. Now, the other thing that I want to say, and I want everybody to understand, which we all do understand, that we are all Karatbars affiliates, but you need to understand what you see or will see in the Tools Rock back office. You will see AdTech worldwide. Why? Because this is not a Karatbars presentation. It's not a Karatbars invention, if you will. It's just that we promote Karatbars as the answer to the challenges that we have put in this presentation. But understand, it's an AdTech worldwide presentation. That's what it is. That's what it will always be. And nothing's going to change. That's not going to change. It's branded. It's copyrighted. It's all of those things. So I'm just encouraging you to use it. Those of you that are in Tools Rock, to use it wisely, because I can tell you it's life-changing, and it should be changing for you. It should change your business if you use it properly. And that's why we put in so much time to bring this up. So keep that in mind and everything. And for those of you that are not in Tools Rock, then you need to get Tools Rock, because that's the only way you're going to get this presentation. And in the back office, it will be there. It will be in PDF form because it can't be changed. And I can tell you this, Joe has made this clear to me, that if anybody attempts to change this or change it, or gets out on the internet through somebody or something like that or whatever, get your lawyer ready. And we don't mean that as a mean, hateful thing or anything like that, because if you put somebody else's stuff out there and it's copyrighted or whatever, and you do not have the permission to use it, to change it or whatever, you've got challenges on your hand. So now, again, I want to make it clear. Our chat box is not for chatting with each other. Joe has made that clear on a number of occasions, and we're asking you to please adhere to that. If not, we're going to turn the chat box off. It's that simple. The chat box is for certain reasons. It's not to communicate with somebody else, to go back and forth and ask questions. And Joe has made that clear on a number of occasions. It's not for you to chat among yourselves. It's really to chat with the moderators, if you will. And we're here. We're the ones that are here to answer the questions, not between, each other. You can do that through Skype, and after the broadcast. So please, we'd appreciate if you adhere to that, because we don't want to. We only have two options. We either have to turn the chat box off, or we have to turn it off, or either you're going to have to stop chatting with one another during the broadcast. It's that simple. So I'll leave that right there. Now, what you can do today, you can ask me questions, because, as I said, Joe is not going to be here today. As a matter of fact, I wanted him to get some sleep, because we're about there, and there's certain things that we have to do. We still have to. There's one thing that we have to look at on the markup, because these pages have to be exactly right. Everything has to be right before we release it. And so, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get it exactly right, and then we're going to release it. I'm hoping in the next day or two. But definitely by the end of the week it will be. We've been in touch with Anson at Tools Rock, and everything is over to their people over in the Philippines, and it's just a matter of putting things up on the server. It has to go to another server. And then the other thing is we have to embed some things as well. We have to embed the videos, and that's not just a simple thing. First of all, you can't just be taking videos and using them and this and that. There's certain things that have to be done in order for that to be able to take place. So it's a long and it's a tedious process. So, but I can assure you this: you can be proud. You can be assured that what you have is game changing. You can be sure of what you have will open some eyes and will make people sit up and take notice. And you can be assured that when people understand that and they see the presentation and they can play it, and you can play it every day and you can send people to it, and the manual, once they come into the program and everything, that it's world class and that it will make a difference. And you can be assured that, you know, Karatbars is going to do what they need to do to back up its program, because there's some great things coming, and this year is going to be a phenomenal year. People are already talking about doubling what they've done in 2014. I mean, people who have done a lot. And I can tell you this, that this presentation and this manual and these classes and everything will help that to come about for them as well as yourself, as well as ourselves. And I also want to make clear as well is that please understand, this is not about Joseph Shoup or Mark Stevens. It's not about us. It's about you. It's about coming together. It's about learning. It's an education. See, what people want to do things, but they don't understand how to do them, and it takes education to do that. And education broadens your thinking. Education gets you ready to do the things that you need to do to take your business to another level. So that's why we talk about it's about education. If someone is educated on as to the challenges they face and why they face those challenges, how to fix those challenges, and they're educated on that, then they will understand when we make recommendations to them. In other words, and I don't mean like give them financial advice, because we're not financial advisors and we're not giving financial advice. All we're doing is pointing out the challenges, and all we're doing is saying what we would do. Because I'm not giving financial advice out to anybody. I'll just tell you what I would do, and I'll tell you what I'm doing. Now from that, you can take it from that. And that's my disclaimer. So I'm not, concerned about somebody saying that, well, Mark Stevens is giving financial advice. I'm making it plain. I am not giving financial advice. But if you ask me what am I doing, I can tell you that all day long. Now, whether you do that or not, that's up to you, and that's not on me, because I can't control what you do. I can only control what I do. Joe can only control what he does. Victor can only control what he does. So that's the name of the story. So what we'll do, we've got about 15 minutes, a little more than 15 minutes before the bottom of the hour, so we're going to entertain some questions. We'll do that. Because you may have some question as to what's coming up or that type of thing like that, and I would like to address those questions and everything. And before I do that, Victor, I see you there. If you want to open your mic, if you got something that you'd like to add into it, I would appreciate that, and then we'll kind of entertain some questions. So how you doing, Vic?
I am doing great. How are you, Mark?
I am fantastic and amazing.
I'm liking the look you got there. I just wished I had a full enough facial hair that I could do something like that, but then I don't, so no sense in worrying about it, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I may keep it or not. My wife likes it, so.
Ooh, that's a good thing. That's a real good thing,
She's a reason for this, to tell you the truth, because I don't particularly
Yeah.
I used to like them. I used to have a beard a while ago and everything, and I used to like them and everything. But you know, every now and then it get a little itchy, but it's
Oh yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Well, hey, yeah, I got a couple of things that I really wanted to share with people,
Great.
and I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage today. I do not see the sidebar um, for Webinar Jam. Do you have it up? Can you see the chat and the attendees and all that?
Yeah. In other words,
Okay.
what I did, I went. What I didn't see it when I came on, and then
Okay.
I went. But when I put, you know, when you put it on the three dots there, you go up there, and then I clicked it on. I saw everything.
I don't even have that, so I'm wondering what's going on here. So
Hmm.
anyway, um, you know, as you guys have been working diligently in preparation for the new program and getting it out to the public, and it does take time to go through the refinements and make sure everything is correct. I've been thinking about how people work their own systems, and everybody has their own system of how they do things. And mine will be different than yours, and I'm sure that there's 42 million different systems out there that people can engage. But here's what I'm driving at. Most people have a haphazard system of follow-up, including me. And I wanted to mention that in the future, I'm going to be bringing to the table some uh, training on Google and some of the Google features that will allow you to systematize your follow-up. And,
Great.
for one thing, anybody using a Gmail account and emailing out of Gmail and setting their system up in Gmail has available to them a free follow-up system called Streak. So they can go to Streak, and it's streak.com, and they can integrate that with their Gmail, and they can build their own sales funnel. Now,
Hmm.
I just said a lot, and people will just need to go to Streak.com, look at it, preview it, see how it works, and then we'll do a session here in the not too distant future of setting up your own sales funnel. What that really looks like, how to manipulate it, work it, how to send emails from Gmail and have it automatically put into the Streak follow-up system. Now, any one of these systems is going to have a free version, and then they're going to have a paid version. So for the more sophisticated people, you can do the paid version, and you'll get enhancements and different features that will allow you to broaden the scope of the use of that particular tool. But I only use the free version. I find it adequate for my purposes here in following up. So I do that both with the leads that I might get, people I've been emailing, and I also do that with my team. So I set up a what they call a pipeline in Streak to allow to put all my teammates in there with their emails. So if I'm going to do a mass email to the team, I can do it directly from Streak. It will send an individual email out so that not everybody's email address is appearing in the email. And bingo, you just got a nice, easy system where you can send out mass emails. You have limits with Google and Gmail as to how many you can send out on a daily basis, but I don't think anybody here has a team of 500, so I don't think we have to worry about that right now. If you do, well, you're going to have to use a different email source. So I'll be covering that in the future, but there's a little tip for today. Go to Streak.com, find out about it, and then you've got a follow-up system.
All right. Thanks, Vic. That sounds exciting. Looking forward to that.
Okay?
Forward to that because you're right. There's a lot of people that they don't have any type of follow-up, and and again, they still wonder what can I do. So that's going to be great. I think let me look in this chat box and see what kind of questions that we might have. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me ask a question about tools, rock, or the presentation if you know the answer. Gloria, I'm trying to understand. Okay, it says, may we answer a question about tools, rock, or the presentation if we know the answer. I would imagine that would be all right, but what I think what Joe is talking about is that it's distracting if it's going on in a conversation. If it's like 5 or 6 answers and questions and like that back with the same person, that becomes distracting, because if at the same time that you're doing the broadcast, you have to monitor the box to see what people are saying, if somebody's asking the monitors a question. So but then the challenge again is still that other people that won't even pertain to this are asking other questions and making contact and that type of thing. So that makes for it not to be good. So we can't do that. So we'll see about that. Hold on a second. Shh, shh.
That sounded like the voice of agreement there.
Yep. Imani, my companion, new addition to the family. Say hi, Imani. Good morning, everybody.
Oh, isn't he cute?
How's everybody? It's a she.
Relative to chatting, I think most people that are on the call right now understand that, when we're in a business that we're in, it becomes, you have to be careful. Let me put it that way. You do have to be careful. You need to understand the rules. And if you don't know the rules about networking, or, and we're not an MLM and we're not a network marketing business, but we are an affiliate business. So you blend those terms together. You do need to know the rules. So.
Exactly. And another thing, too, is we have to be careful, because we don't know what somebody may be new to the broadcast and they don't necessarily know the rules, and then somebody may say the wrong thing, and you have to be careful, like you're saying, Vic, what you say. And then the other thing too is that we have to be careful as to what we say and do under our under our name, AdTech Worldwide, because when something comes through AdTech, in other words, we're responsible for that. We have to take ownership to that. So if somebody says something and they can't really speak for AdTech, then that creates a lot of challenges as well. So we have to be very careful as to how we do that.
And even though you and I both have worked in the financial services business, we have to make it, very plain and known to everybody that we're not giving financial advice.
Exactly.
And our licenses may have expired, or we may not have had licenses. I was licensed for 8 or 9 years, but I'm no longer licensed, and I'm through the 2-year period of responsibility to my previous clients. And so, I can talk in generality about what I do personally. For instance, how I've handled my individual retirement monies, but I can't give anybody else advice on how to do it.
Exactly, and that's basically what I do now. My clients that I've had over the years, like I say, a lot of people, when they do business with me, they become family because of the trust that they put in me, and the relationship that we have. So, and like I said before, I was consulting for small businesses as well, and being compensated very well. So there's still a lot of things that I do for free for people even now, but the thing is that I make it very clear, and then a lot of times, Vic, I even will send out a written disclaimer and have them sign it, and make sure because that's how I have to protect myself, before the powers that be, because sometimes you get in trouble for doing absolutely nothing.
Absolutely, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely nothing, and they want to, do things, but that's another story for another day. So the deal is that, again, we don't give financial advice, and then you notice in the presentation we have a disclaimer there, and we will always have that there because today the way things are moving so fast and things that are coming, there's a lot of things I could tell you that's coming down the pike that's already happened, that's happening now, but I can't really do it for various reasons. I don't have the license to tell you. I can take care of it for myself, and this is why I say some things I say, well, this is what I do, this is what I did, and I just leave it at that. Then I'm okay. Because that's just like, you go out to the store and you see somebody buy this produce or that meat or that fish or whatever like that, and then you go buy it and you get sick. Well, you can't blame it on them. They didn't tell you to do it. You did it because you saw them do it and you thought it might be good or whatever, something like that. I'll use that analogy for right now. So the thing is being careful what we do and what we say.
So we had a comment or a question regarding the chat box and communicating with the admin. There is a checkoff box there if you want to chat with just the admin. There's a checkoff there, and you can just click it and put your message up, and it'll just go to the admin on the in the chat, and it won't be seen by the public. We also we do have an admin chat box that is displayed to just Mark and Joe and myself, so that is available for us to chat back and forth as well. But also realize that this broadcast that we're doing right now is live, and it's live on Google+. So we are definitely live. There's another audience that's probably out there that could be watching this, not necessarily just the people that have logged in with us. That's one of the features of Google Hangouts, and it's there. People could be watching us. They may not know who we are, and they may want to find out who we are. So that's kind of another caution for us to pay attention to.
Yes, most definitely. So we've got about five minutes to the bottom of the hour. Again, if you have a question pertaining to the presentation, when it's going to be up or whatever, you can ask that question before we close out. But I'm saying we're close. We can even get a call later on today and say, okay, what we need to do is go do this, this, and this. And then if that's okay with you and Joe, Mark, then we're good to go. We can go live with it. You can let everybody know that it's in the system and it's ready to go. But again, I want to publicly thank Joe for all the work that he's done, because it's been a lot. It's been a lot of sleepless nights, and it's not easy to do this and everything. So. And we know you appreciate it, and the other thing too is that don't misunderstand. We're not complaining, we're not crying or anything like that. It's just that we want you all to benefit, and we want you to to make sure that you take care of what you have gotten a hold of. And we have everything in place now to do what we need to do this year. Now, if you do still need something, or you have a question for Joe, what you want to do is send an email to JP Shoup. And this is for any new people that are on the broadcast. JP Shoup at earthlink.net. And it's 4 things you want to have there. You want to have your name, your email address, your phone number, and the reason, for the email, what you're requesting. You're requesting to put on the list, or you're requesting to get in the communication class, whatever it is, you have to have a phone number there, because if Joe has to call you, he needs to know how to, needs to get a hold of. So that's JP Shoop at earthlink.net. So let's see here. Well, I think we pretty much addressed everything from what I see.
Okay. I've got a comment about ToolsRock.
Okay, go ahead.
If you want to give me a minute here.
Sure, go ahead.
ToolsRock, the platform, has the ability for us to have 2 autoresponders in it if we're on the basically the $20 a month platform. And so the other day I had a question come up about getting into ToolsRock and using the platform itself with various links that have been LINKS that have been created. So I called Joe and we worked through a couple of scenarios. But if you've had ToolsRock right along and you have the 2 autoresponders set up as outlined in the back office in the training vault, and you've gone through the training vault and set up your 2 autoresponders, and you have another link that you wanted to use for promotion. I had 3 links in there that I could use for promotion, and if you wanted to use that 3rd link in there, you can do so, and it will work. It'll do the presentation. This is one of the first presentations that Joe did. That presentation will be up, and the autoresponder will automatically put your contacts, if anybody subscribes to that, into the contact management system, and will send them emails. So it's not just limited to 2. I had a question about 2, the number 2, 2 autoresponders working for us, and how many links we could have active in ToolsRock. And Joe answered it, and he said we can have as many links in that back office as we want. So that may confuse people. So if it does, just bring it up, bring the subject up again, and we'll clarify it. But if you have more than 2 links in your back office in ToolsRock and you want to use them all, you may. And the system works just fine and sends emails out to your prospects, and bingo, you'll have them in your contact management system and be able to follow up with them. So that's all I got for today, Mark.
Okay, and there's a possibility when Joe gets back tomorrow, we get everything, pretty much fixed up. He gets back tomorrow. Maybe he'll screen share and share one of the letters, because we do have some letters back there right now. Don't go back there because you won't be able to see them or whatever like that, or know exactly what to do yet. But we're working on getting them there. We've got some back there. We've got about a week's supply right now. So, like I said, that's why I keep saying that we're close. So this is very exciting, and it's just going to be great. So just be a little bit more patient with us, and we'll get it when it's not us. We have to work through ToolsRock so that they can work through their people in the Philippines, so we can get everything done the way that we need to get it done. So with that being said, go out today, make it a great day. Peace and blessings to you. Help change your life, career, city, state, country, and most of all, help us to make a change in this world so that people can get the freedoms that they're looking for. They need time freedom. They need financial freedom. They need to have less stress. And guess what? Through what we do here, we can help alleviate those challenges, and we can help provide the things that they need. And when you provide it for enough people, guess what? It will definitely take care of you. So with that being said, peace and blessings to you. This is Mark Stevenson, our host, Joe Shoop. Says, make it a great day, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow morning back here on The Breakfast Club. Have a great day, everybody.